Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm very excited. I have some new makeup to show you guys to try out. I have the new e.l.f. gripping primer. I have the new foundation from Tarte, as well as some other products. I don't have a complete full face, so I'll be just kind of sliding some existing products that I have been loving lately kind of in there in between. Before we get started, if you are not already, I would love it if you would consider joining my little family and hitting subscribe, and make sure you tap the notification bell as well, so that way you will not miss anything that I have coming up. I do have some other try new makeup videos coming that I'm very excited about. I'm also working on some future giveaways, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well as follow me on my Instagram. Everything will be linked down below. I'm also on TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter. I just recently started back on Twitter. I hadn't been on there in a while. But let's go ahead and jump into this video. I'm very excited to try out these new products. First thing we're going to be trying out is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. From my understanding, this is supposed to be a dupe for the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. I don't have that. I have not used that, so I can't say if it's going to be a dupe for that or not. All I can do is review this, based on my own personal experience with it. But I know that it's supposed to be kind of sticky and grip your makeup to help it last longer. So we'll see if all those claims are true, but let's go ahead and throw this on. So this will be the first time that I am trying this. This will be the first time that I am trying anything. I had to actually run to my parents' house this morning after I dropped my kids off at school to grab the Ulta package. The e.l.f. products that came a couple of days ago, but the rest of the products I had wanted to try, I had gotten from Ulta. They arrived at my parents' house yesterday, so I had to run over there this morning to get them so that I would have them for this video. That's what it looks like. It's kind of a clear blue gel. Feels kind of cooling. Doesn't have a fragrance. You see that already feels kind of sticky. I have never used any kind of a gripping primer, so I personally don't even really know what to expect. I've been tempted many times to try the Milk Makeup Primer, but I just never got around to it. All right, let's see. It's definitely a little tacky. When Emily Noel tested this out, she said that once it sat for a little while, the tackiness wasn't as much. It's slightly tacky, not super sticky or anything like that. It says to let it sit down for 30 seconds, so we're going to do that, and then we'll move on to the foundation. So Tarte came out with a new foundation. This is the Shape Tape Cloud Coverage Broad Spectrum SPF 15. So there's SPF 15 in this as well. I believe this is a light to medium coverage, not a full coverage. The shade that I have is medium tan. It actually took me a while to pick out my shade. I like the little pump. I'll pump a few on my sponge, my e.l.f. Total Face Sponge. That should be enough to cover my face, I would think. It's a little bit hard sometimes to figure out your shade when you're looking at it on the website. It can look too light or too dark. This looks like it might be a little light, but it might oxidize. All right, the coverage already, I will say, is a definite light to medium coverage. It's looking okay, but it's definitely not the best finish that I've ever gotten from a foundation. I'm gonna go ahead and do one more pump. I cover up the rest of my face. It's definitely a light to medium coverage. I wonder if it builds up or not. I prefer a medium to full coverage, something that's going to, cover everything that I need to cover, but still kind of look like skin. All right, so that is the first initial application. And so far, it's not looking the best on my skin. I have other foundations that I have used that just look absolutely amazing. And so far with the finish, it's okay. It's not great. I definitely have foundations that look better than this, blend better than this. Not really getting a whole lot of coverage right here in my nose. I'm gonna do one more pump, see if we can even out the nose a little bit. Yeah, so far I am not really liking this finish. I have other foundations that I definitely like more than this. Even with that gripping primer, I don't feel like it's laying down the right way. Could be the primer. Maybe the two products aren't working well together. I mean, there are both two brand new products I'm trying for the first time, so that's a possibility, but so far, yeah, I'm not impressed with this foundation. It's not, making me, it's not wowing me. I'm not that thrilled with this finish. I don't have a new concealer or powder, so I'm going to use my Becca Undereye Corrector and my Milani Conceal and Perfect. This is in warm beige. I absolutely love this one. And then I'm going to set everything down with the Urban Decay All Nighter Translucent Softening loose powder, and then we'll come back and we'll move on to the blush and the highlighter. Finished off my concealer, and the foundation does look a little bit better than it did when I first applied it, so maybe this is one of those foundations that looks better as the day goes along. And it did oxidize just a little bit, so it is matching my skin tone a little bit more. Let's go ahead and set everything down. Like I said, I'm going to use my Urban Decay All Nighter Loose Softening Powder. I'm just going to take my e.l.f. sponge and then just press everything into the skin. I feel like that works best for me to help set everything down and gives me the best overall finish and longevity in makeup wear. Let me know, guys, if you are interested in seeing an actual wear test with this foundation. I can definitely do that for you guys. Now we can actually see, how the foundation looks throughout the day. I'm going to take just a little bit of my Sheglam Bake Glow Baking Powder and just apply that under the eyes to set. I don't have a new brow pencil either, so I'm just going to fill in my brows real quick using my AOA Studio Slim Brow Pencil in dark brown. Brows are filled in. I'm going to prime my eyelids with my Milani eyeshadow primer, and then we are going to move on to trying out this new blush and highlighter that I picked up. For blush, we're going to be trying out one of these new fluffy blushies from Pacifica. This shade is in Sunset. I found this very intriguing. I think there were like 3 or 4 shades, and it looks like it's just a cream blush. Looks very putty-like. See what the texture is. It's kind of a very pretty peachy shade. I thought that would be really pretty for the springtime, and I thought it would go with the palette that I picked up. Texture feels very nice. Kind of has a cream powder feel to it. Shade is really pretty. Let's go ahead and apply that. I'm going to try it with my fingers first. If that doesn't work, then I'll use my little brush that I like to use for cream blushes. Definitely feels better than the e.l.f. putty blushes. I was not thrilled with that formula. I ended up decluttering the one that I had. Wow, that is a very, very light pale peach. It looked a little bit deeper on the website. That's going to be really, really pretty in the springtime. Definitely for sure. It's blending out very nicely with the finger. It looks really pretty over the powder. I'm not seeing like a bunch of lifting of the product underneath. It's just a very pretty lightweight spring peachy pink. That is really pretty. I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit with my brush. I just want to see what it looks like applied with the brush. Getting just a little bit more pigment. It's definitely blending out really, really well. I'm liking the texture. I wish the e.l.f. putty blushes blended out like this. I've seen people that love that formula, but it just didn't work for me. The shade, like I said, it's a lot lighter than I thought it was. I thought it was more of a deeper peach, but it's really pretty. And it's blending out very nicely. I remember seeing on Trend Mood a couple of months ago that Essence, it may have been in December, may not have been that long ago, but Essence was launching this coffee collection. I had looked on their website. I didn't see it there, and I also didn't see it on Ulta. I think it was only available at the time on like the Italian website or European website. It wasn't available in the US yet. But then I was looking at some of the new launches on Ulta a couple of weeks ago, and I saw that it was finally available here, so I grabbed it. I grabbed one of the coffee bean highlighters. So this is what it looks like. The shade is called Meant to Bean Together. Very clever. Basically, it just looks like a little jar of coffee beans. Oh my god, and it smells like coffee too. Oh, that's nice. I'm just going to take my Milani highlighting brush and go lightly over the top because I don't know how pigmented this is going to be. It's very clever in the design. I'm going to blend a little bit in my hand first. I don't want to go too ham. This looks like it's a very pretty, kind of a deeper golden glow. I don't remember if there was more than one shade of this. I think this was the only shade, if I'm remembering correctly. There wasn't more than one. It looks really, really pretty. It's not like super glowy or shiny. Really liking it. That looks really, really pretty. So I just noticed that it's not, the whole thing isn't filled with coffee beans. It's just coffee bean highlighter sitting on top of a sponge. So only this top layer are the actual highlighting beads. Alright, so moving on to eyeshadow. If you are new to my channel, I love Colourpop. I absolutely love them, but I ended up taking kind of a little bit of a break from them because it just got overwhelming. They were launching so much so quickly. I just could not keep up, so I kind of took a little bit of a mental break from Colourpop. The only thing that I bought like in the last month and a half was that Mandalorian palette, because I love Star Wars and I got it to go with the Child palette. But I saw this one. I was thinking about getting it when it first launched, but at the time I was still in my taking a break from Colourpop. This is the So Fly palette. This is a dragonfly on the cover. I just thought this was so pretty. The color story was what really got me, especially this blue right here, which is called Wingtip. It's just so gorgeous. I think I'm going to do a very simple look with just this kind of a pinky peach color over here called Colorful, and then bring this shade in on the top, and then one of the lighter shades in the inner corner. I'm going to go ahead and swatch some of these shimmers though. Just want to see what they actually look like in a swatch. Super creamy. This middle shade, FYI, looks like it has a kind of a shift to it. I don't know if you can see it right there. So I kind of see what these look like swatched. Very pretty. All right, FYI has a pink to purple to green shift. Do you see that? You see it, how it shifts to the purple and then to the green? That is really pretty. I think I'm going to play with these two shades right here. I'm going to lay that colorful shade down all over the lid with this fluffy brush from Beige Cosmetics. I'm sorry, not Beige Cosmetics, Beauty Bay. It'll go really well with this blush. So I've noticed that I have an uptake in subscribers. I've gotten a pretty decent amount of subscribers in the last month or so, but I haven't seen that translated to the views. So I want to ask you guys to do me a favor. Write down in the comments what it was that attracted you to my channel, what it was that you found appealing, what it was that motivated you, to go on ahead and subscribe. I'm basically just kind of looking at my analytics and stuff and just trying to figure out like what videos I want to post, film and upload in the coming months, along with the videos that I already do. I do my BoxyCharm unboxing, I do trying on new makeup. I'm about to start doing vlogs again, but I just would like to know what it was that attracted you to the channel, what it was about the channel that, caused you or motivated you to subscribe, because I want to make sure that I'm doing content that you guys are interested in, that you guys want to see. I'm going to take Speedy and just kind of blend out the top just a little bit. It looks like it's one of those satin matte shades that has a little bit of the glitter in the inside. I just want to kind of blend out the top here. I apologize if you're hearing some real world noises going on right now. I have my window open. It is just too pretty to have it shut. So you might hear a little banging and clanging going on outside. It sounds like landscaping or something is doing some work on the grounds right now. I had to step away for a minute. My phone started to get hot. I noticed that it starts to get hot after about 15 minutes. And I'm thinking it's just with the selfie cam, because when I filmed my blush and my eyeshadow palette declutters, I did those on the front facing camera and I did not have an issue with my phone getting hot. So I don't know what's up with that, but it's looking like more and more I'm going to have to get an actual camera if I really want to continue this and I want to make it a thing. Back to this video. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit more of that colorful shade, which is the pink, and just lay a little bit down on the lower lash line. Just very, very close to the lash line. Don't want to get out of hand. All right, quickly we're going to go into Wingtip, and I'm going to lay that on this part of the eye, and then we're going to go into FYI, that beautiful duochrome, and lay that more towards the middle. Just want to kind of keep this look basically simple, not too many shades. That's pretty. Might have to wet the brush to get that super intensity that I want. That is pretty. Ooh. This was a shade that really just kind of caught my eye where this palette was concerned. Go ahead and wet my brush a little bit. I have my NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray. I'm just going to go ahead and use that since that's what's in front of me. Just wet the brush a little bit. See if we can ramp up that intensity, and oh yeah, that definitely did it. Oh, that is such a pretty shade. I'm going to go on FYI, that duochrome. I want to focus that more towards the inner corner. Just blend it into blue shade. I love a good duo shifty shade. Kind of shift to purple. Oh, that is so pretty. I'm going to do the same thing that I did with that first shade. Just going to wet it a little bit, see if we can ramp up the intensity just a bit. I'll take that first shade and just kind of blend back and forth. I just want to make sure these two colors are blended together. We don't have too much of a harsh line in between the two shades. Go back in with a little more colorful. Blend out these edges on the outside. Very simple spring look. I am loving it. I just realized I forgot to actually set my whole face down with my setting spray, but everything is actually setting down very well. The foundation is looking a little bit better than it did when I first applied it. So it looks like everything is kind of melted together a little bit more, like it's warmed up to my skin. It's definitely oxidized a little bit, so the shade is definitely a better match. I don't know, I think it's one of those foundations I'm going to have to play around with a little bit more before I really truly decide what I think about it. So I'm going to go off camera, throw on some liner. I'm going to use my Artista liner from AOA Studios. This is one of my absolute favorites. You guys know this if you've been with me for a while. Throw something into my waterline, throw on some lashes, and then we come back. We're going to try out this Glossy Lip Stain from e.l.f. I have been wanting to try this for a while, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it compares to the one from Colourpop. I am loving these lashes from the House of Lashes. These are the Iconic Light. They're a different shape than what I normally like to get. They're a little bit more piecey, but I just feel like they're so pretty in the way that they look. The waterline, I use this liner from Colourpop. It is in Big Splash. I just want kind of a really pretty icy blue under there just to kind of brighten everything up. Very pretty icy blue shade. Alright, so let's finish off with lips. Like I said, I have one of these glossy lip stains from e.l.f. The shade is in Coral Cutie. It should go really pretty with the rest of my look I have put together today. Smaller than the ones from Colourpop. Shape the same, but the actual bottle itself is a little bit smaller. I'm going to use this liner from Ruby Kisses and Coral, and we're going to go ahead and line our lips. Time to give the lip stain a spin. Like I said, I have been wanting to try this for a while. No fragrance. It's a little bit brighter than the actual lip pencil. The consistency is more like a gel. The glossy lip stains from Colourpop are a little bit thinner. This one definitely has more of a gel kind of a finish to it. It's a very pretty shade. It feels very comfortable on the lips. It's definitely very, very glossy. That is definitely for sure. I feel like my lips look a little bit plumper, a little bit fuller. Alright guys, that is the end of this trying on new makeup video. Final thoughts. So far, I'm liking the primer. It does seem to be gripping everything on. The foundation, I didn't like it when it first applied, but it seems to be looking a little bit better as the time is wearing on. I will continue to play with it, to kind of see what my final thoughts are. Definitely let me know if you want to see an actual wear test for the foundation, because if you'd like to see that, I will definitely do that for you. Also, make sure to drop your questions down below. I will be doing a Q&A coming up real soon. I'm very excited about that. I just thought that would be a fun way for you guys to get to know me better, especially my new subscribers who have recently joined me. Let's see, what else? The Fluffy Blushy blush from Pacifica. This is really pretty. It actually set down really nicely. There's no tackiness to it. It's really, really pretty. This is going to be beautiful in the springtime. The highlighter is really pretty. It's kind of gimmicky, with the coffee beans and all that, but it is pretty. There's a little bit of a peach glow to it. It doesn't show too much texture. I really like that. The glossy lip stain, though, still not quite sure. The ones from Colourpop have a little bit more pigment to them. These are definitely more glossy, and they definitely have more of a gel finish. Texture-wise, I think I like these better. Pigment-wise, I think I like the ones from Colourpop just a little bit better, but just like with the primer and the foundation, it's one of those things I'm just going to have to kind of play around with. I do like the way it looks, and my lips do look plumper and a little more juicy. Once again, if you're new to my channel, be sure to hit subscribe, tap the notification bell, follow me on all my social medias. Be safe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.